Good evening, everybody. Sorry for the slight delay. Welcome into Early Edge Live as we count down to Sunday Night Football tonight. A good one in the NFC South. The Saints on the road at Raymond James Stadium to take on the defending Super Bowl champion Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The number is 11. The total is sitting on 45. If you're brand new to the show and the brand, first of all, welcome. On this particular show, we do it before every single primetime game. We're talking storylines from the early games. We're talking sides, totals, all the props you could possibly want. If there is a prop from the game tonight that you would like us to hit on, that you're interested in playing, put it into the chat for me. All right? And we will get to it in about the next 20 to 30 minutes. Molly, I'll see you. I see you. Now, let's bring in the stars of the show because you know on Sunday night, I bring in my rock stars right next to me live from Nashville, Tennessee, the penthouse level M squared. How was your day this afternoon, sir?
It's been pretty good. It'll be a lot better if the Ravens find a way to just not give up another score in this game. If they can cover my 11 points in the teaser, it'd be great. I'm watching it here, though. I'm fascinated because I know what Harbaugh is going to do and what he should do, and it's going to break everyone's mind. If they score a touchdown, they're going for 2 to win.
You think he's going to go for 2?
There's 0% chance he should play for overtime. 0%.
All right. Well, we are live sweating it together. Touchdown Ravens. Sorry, Mikey. So we'll live sweat. We'll give you right. They scored. Tyler Hunter just scored.
Yep, there he is up the middle.
Touchdown. There you go. So now it's a 1-point game and 42 seconds to go. And I think you're right, Mikey. I love live sweating.
The math, it's not even close. You always go for 2 here by the math. It's like literally not even close when they're the underdog of this size. Basically, it's a 50% probability to go for 2 and make it. The probability of them winning the coin toss and going down and scoring another touchdown or stopping Aaron Rodgers is much lower than 50%. It's not even close.
That is why Mikey's on our team, boys and girls. Mikey is on our team, boys and girls. Also live from Nashville, Tennessee, as we live sweat it. AB, I got a delay. We're going to go live 2 points. I'll call it live for you. And they're not snapping it, and I believe they're going to take a timeout. They're going to take a timeout on the 2-point conversion. So it's 31-30. Packers are up, and the Ravens were 9-point underdogs. They're down 14 with 4 minutes to go, and Hundley has driven them down twice. They scored on 4th down to cut it in half, and then Hundley just scored again. Both touchdowns, guys, on rushing from the quarterback position, filling in for Lamar Jackson. AB, if they end up winning this, will be one of the great performances we've seen all year by a quarterback.
Oh, absolutely. And I mean, winning, with Huntley, with them in the playoff race. And the fascinating part is this. If they are going for 2, this is the 3rd week in a row that the Ravens are going to have a game that comes down to a 2-point conversion. And we talked about this morning, they have the best kicker in the NFL. It's strange that they find themselves in this position. So, yeah, wild.
Well, they had earlier in the game, they had 4th and a half yard from the 6, and one of their offensive linemen jumped, so they had to kick the field goal. If they wouldn't have had to do that, I mean, it's coulda, woulda, shoulda. We might not even be in this position, but this is exciting, and this is what NFL football is all about. You've got to get first downs. So here we go, 31-32-point conversion. Ravens for the potential win over the Packers. Hundley's rolling out to the right. He's got a guy. Oh, incomplete. Incomplete. No flags on the play, and the Packers. If they get the onside kicker, going to go ahead and win. Alex, what are you doing? How big of a win? I guess let's talk both sides of the fence here, guys. Alex, for you, when you look at the fact that the Ravens with a backup quarterback, there's no moral victories in the NFL, but the Packers giving up 14-point lead in the final 4 minutes, should they be concerned at all or just happy with the win?
I think a little bit of both. I think this Packers team has incredibly high aspirations. Obviously, Aaron Rodgers is playing spectacular football right now. To me, he is the clear-cut MVP besides Tom Brady. He's made a big push in that regard over the past couple of weeks as well, playing flawless football, really, in my opinion. But yeah, this Packers defense also has been pretty solid and sound all season long. It makes sense to me that at this stage of the season, how, playing a backup quarterback, you could easily kind of take the foot off the gas a little bit. So I'm not surprised by the outcome. Mike and I also talked about how we liked Tyler Huntley quite a bit, liked his thought he was an underrated and viable backup quarterback. So, yeah, I'm not also surprised to see him having success. He is a better, or I guess a more effective traditional passer, in my opinion, than Lamar Jackson is right now. So, yeah, he's moving the ball effectively. I think he's a lot better than probably a lot of people give him credit for.
Well, he made himself a lot of money today because there's a lot of teams look around going, we could use that guy. We would really like that guy. Other late game results in a basically elimination game. The Bengals hang on to beat the Broncos. Denver had every chance in the world to win this game. They didn't do it. 15-10. Other late game, the 49ers. I hate the Falcons. 49ers cover 31-13, but the over should have come in. The Falcons stopped inside the 10 3 different times on downs because Matty Ice is terrible. But guys from earlier, Mikey, let me come back to you. Have you ever seen an NFL team that didn't even have a guy on the roster that could kick an extra point? Because the Panthers lose their kicker today. The Bills win by 17. The spread was 14, and they easily left 9 or 12 points out there. They couldn't even attempt a kick today. Have you ever seen that before?
I mean, we saw it earlier this season with one game, but it wasn't because of the kicker. It was because they didn't have a holder who could hold for a left-footed kicker. I forgot what team that was, but we did see it already once this season. And man, it's hard to believe. I know that roster spots are coveted in the National Football League, but it's really frustrating and really hard to believe that there isn't someone who is a good enough athlete to be able to attempt. I know the extra point is obviously moved back, so it's not, not
a chip shot
like
anymore.
It used to be. It's not the exact chip shot. It is a legitimate field goal, but it is difficult to believe. Like if I'm looking at punters, for example, especially in the era of analytics, if that's what you want to call it, whatever it is, following the math, when you're punting at a lower rate, you should be looking at athletes at the punter position that could potentially kick field goals for you. I think that that's something that's going to have a little bit of additional value. And then, man, I almost would dedicate one additional roster spot. And when you're looking for that last spot, I would look for former quarterbacks, former players that are smart and understand the game, but are just good athletes. Might not be a bad idea to have one extra spot in some of these. I know it's for a kicker, but it's pretty bad when you don't have one available.
Matt Severance made a good point today on Twitter, which is rare for him. But he said, why do we keep a fourth linebacker who has no effect on the game instead of keeping an extra kicker on the roster that actually scores points? Now, I know normally a kicker getting hurt pregame doesn't happen, but today it did. And that's going to change the way a lot of people do things moving forward. Because that definitely, we talk about storylines all the time that affect the betting lines. That affected the betting line today in a major way. One of those field goals. And then Panthers bettors cover. Now, let me come to you, AB, because another outcome that not only shocked the world, but is really going to hurt this particular team, and that's the Arizona Cardinals falling to Detroit. In Detroit, 30-12. And don't look now, but isn't the over-under on the Lions win total 4? And they now have 2? So everybody that was bragging about winning that ticket, hold the phone. There's 3 games left, huh, AB?
Yeah, you're exactly right. And, for the Cardinals, here's the problem. You look at this team and you look at the, Cliff Kingsbury as a head coach, like he's known for, and even going back to college, of starting seasons very well. And then towards the end of the year, they just kind of fall apart. And this is a bad loss because there was no reason for them to lose this game at all. I understand. And this is something to pay attention to when you have teams that are completely out of it, that they're going to play a little differently and more aggressively, but it's not like the Lions did anything out of the norm. I mean, they just ran a pretty simple style offense and were just tearing their defense apart. And then couple that with the Arizona offense couldn't do anything against the Lions defense. Like, this is something that should absolutely be paid attention to. Like we were just talking about the Packers, not concerned about the end of that game, whatever. It happens. Just get the win. But this Arizona team, like, we should be paying attention to them now because this could be a serious problem.
Yeah, they're 10-4, but they now fall out of the top 2. So let me come now to a man who's holding his hand up. And by the way, Alex, I forgot to ask you at the start of the show, how is your column and or your picks on the prop show doing today?
Thank you for asking me, Coach. Quite well, actually. I believe we are 3-0 in the column with 2 plays pending tonight, and we went 3-1 on our show yesterday on our prop special / Saturday kickoff preview as well, and we have 1 more play pending. So yeah, doing quite well.
Can't wait for that. Did you have something off of what AB was saying, or are you just raising your hand?
I'm just impressed by Detroit, honestly. Coming into this game without their top 2 running backs, their 3 best offensive players, TJ Hawkinson. Just to beat this Cardinals team at this stage with Jared Goff and just a bunch of ancillary and tertiary and third-string running backs is pretty impressive. Arizona's got a lot to worry about, and they've in a very, very crucial game on Christmas versus the Colts as well.
Those are big words for you. Actually, they're big words for AB, not necessarily you. Maiden in the chat says, one of my bosses got knocked out of the Circa Survivor by the Cardinals. Oh, at this point of the year when you're staring down the barrel, what is it, $500,000, $1 million? First of all, rule number 1, until you have to, you don't take an away team in a Survivor pool. Everybody knows that. But it's week, 14? So maybe he didn't have any left. I don't know. But that sucks. That sucks. Now, other outcomes today, and we're going to start on tonight's game in about 5 minutes. But look at the Steelers. AB, and then I'm coming to you, Mikey. You said a nugget on the morning show that absolutely happened today. What did you say about the Titans and the Steelers first half as compared to the second half? I want people who didn't watch to understand what we talk about before the games.
Yeah, so the Titans are the highest scoring team in the NFL in regards to the second quarter. They're also just a fast starting team in general. So we talked about playing the Titans in the first half minus half a point, absolutely cash. And then we talked about the Steelers in regards to their fourth quarter points of what they put up and their defense that gets the ball and creates turnovers, which that absolutely cash. So it's fascinating. And here's the most important part. Right. So this was a big win for the Chiefs and for the Patriots in this AFC race. The Steelers play the Chiefs next week. Right. So it's interesting how the Steelers are involved, in both of these games. And if the Chiefs win and the Patriots lose to the Bills, buddy, the Chiefs are sitting pretty, man.
Yeah. 7 wins in a row. The only team in the AFC that has 10 wins. Oh, all of those Chiefs haters are long gone right now. But the Cowboy lovers are still alive, Mikey. Today, Cowboys in a very ugly win. Dak Prescott said after the game he wasn't happy at all with the way that his team played, but they still won and covered 21-6, and they now have 10 wins with the Packers getting number 10 today and the Bucs having a chance tonight. How impressed are you with the Cowboys and their 15-point cover today?
Not very impressed, to be honest with you. I don't think they were that great. It was a Mike Glennon-led team. Fromm came in relief there in the end, and they basically, it's a kind of a fake cover. The Cowboys barely covered that game. Giants should have scored on the final drive there, where they would have ended up covering the spread. The Giants would have. So I was not super impressed with Dallas, but like a lot of teams right now, they're, from week to week, some of these are really good teams. Some of these teams don't look that great. But at the end of the day, the most important thing for them is winning football games. And that's what you've got to do. And that's what they did. So it puts them in a pretty good spot here. The big one next, they need to win at home against Washington. Get that one done. They get that matchup with the Cardinals. And it'd be nice to beat them head to head and then finish with the Eagles. So they're controlling their destiny here. Definitely helps that the Cardinals lost. And we'll see what's up with the Rams and what's up with the Bucs here tonight. There's the top of this NFC. It feels like it's going to Tampa Bay, but you got to win the games. You got to line up and win the games. And Arizona didn't do that today.
Oh, no, they did not. And now without DeAndre Hopkins for the rest of the season, maybe back in the playoffs right now, the Cardinals are certainly on the outside as far as favorites are concerned, looking in. All right, let's turn the page and switch over to tonight. By the way, a quick reminder that because of the 2 games tomorrow, we're going to try something. AB and the boys will be live from 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. Eastern time for that hour. Then I will be with the crew at 7:15 to 8:15. We'll sweat the end of the first game and then talk about the second game. I think that could be a ton of fun tomorrow, boys. Is everybody on board with that? Are we good with that?
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Good.
yeah.
Oh, all right. I love it. And then Tuesday, no mega preview. That's moving to Wednesday this week, and we will do, I believe, 2 more 1-hour show on Tuesday afternoon, as there are 2 games at 7 p.m. Eastern time. I'm here for it. I am here for it. Now, back to tonight. AB, let me start with you. The number's 11. Now, Tom Brady is a member of the Bucs. He's never beaten the Saints in the regular season. 0-3. For some reason, the Saints have the Bucs and Brady's number, but is tonight's number too big?
Well, the interesting part is the Saints have had it, but 2 of 3 of those have been Drew Brees and Sean Payton. Okay? The other one was Jameis Winston. Like, now you're going to have to do it without Sean Payton. You're going to have to do it with Taysom Hill, and you're going to have to do it with Alvin Kamara, who's really not having that good of a season. So I'm fascinated to see how this game goes tonight, because I feel like if the Bucs, we talk about game scripts all the time, I feel like if the Bucs keep it a normal game, they'll crush them. But if the Saints can get this game wild and just insane things going on, like, that's where the Saints can, I don't think they'll win, but they can certainly cover. The big problem for Tampa Bay is that they've got 3 guys in their secondary that are out. One of them being Antoine Winfield, which is a big loss to that secondary. So pay attention to that, but it's not like Taysom Hill throws long passes. This is going to be a fascinating game for sure.
All right, well, Mikey, the Saints did score 30 last week against the Jets, 30-9. And they did score 36 points the first time they faced the Bucs this year. Now, there was some defensive stuff going on and some, interceptions by Brady, but there was 63 points scored in the first game. The over tonight is at 45. What do you make of this game now in Tampa?
I like the 45 a lot better. So my simulation number on it is 45.3. The market's basically moved down to that. It's pretty clear. Sharp. You call it a sharp side. We have some sharp signals on the under. About 70% of the bets going to be coming in on the over, but about 65 to 70% of the money on the under. Not always an indication of sharp action, but generally speaking, it's closer to that than the other way around. I can't play it personally. If I had to lean, I still would lean towards the under, frankly, just because of the personnel that the Saints are going to have on the field. Their game plan here is going to be to run the football. It's going to be Taysom Hill. It's going to be Alvin Kamara. It's going to be take care of the football. So having that, and then Leonard Fournette being banged up a little bit. Yes, he's active, but he is dealing with an ankle injury. You have to treat, in my opinion, some of these injuries a little more seriously this late in the season, because there's a lot of mileage on the body at that point. If he has had this ankle injury, we've seen the pretty incredible usage out of him so far this season. Just something to note, that he definitely is dealing with the ankle injury, and combining that with the opponent here, for me, it's an under lean despite how many points were scored in the last matchup.
And I believe we have a Leonard Fournette under 5.5 catches. Is that right, AB? Official play on the show tonight from
Prop Stars does.
Prop Stars? Okay, coming to you, Alex, coming to you. So I couldn't remember who did it, but real quick before we get into your best bet, when you look at, we were talking about Devontae Parker earlier today, and he showed up just like we thought he would. Tonight, Alvin Kamara, a lot of people in the chat are already asking about him. And last week, he was very strong against the Jets. Do you see his numbers being big tonight?
It's certainly going to be interesting. The Bucs have a very good rush defense. They play opposing running backs almost as well as any defense in football. Last week we saw Kamara versus a Jets defense that is absolutely putrid, who Duke Johnson ran for over 100 yards against today. When was the last time you heard a Duke Johnson doing anything? So, yeah, I think Kamara is in line for a big workload. I do think
Sorry, that's awesome. Which one is that? Who's that?
This is Margot. She's being a little pest today.
Margot, she wants her 15 seconds. I like it.
She does.
Please continue.
Sorry about that, Margot. I do think Kamara is going to be the focal point of the Saints offense, but adversely, I think he's going to be the focal point of the defensive game plan from the Bucs as well. I think they're going to pay a lot of attention to him, try and force Taysom Hill to beat him with his arm, a lot of stacked boxes. So, yeah, I do think Kamara, his numbers are efficient to me. If anything, I'm kind of leaning towards his receptions and his receiving yards. I know Sia is on that play. I do think he's going to have, like I mentioned, a very big workload, a lot of volume. He should catch a lot of passes out of the backfield. I will also say that this Bucs rush defense, while it is still a very good unit, well above average. It has taken a turn. Early in the season, it was the best rush defense. Over the past 4 or 5 weeks, they've actually been pretty generous or a much friendlier matchup. So in my opinion, it wouldn't surprise me whatsoever to see New Orleans just do what they've done pretty much since Taysom Hill has been inserted at quarterback and just have a very, very high volume rushing attack. A lot of Taysom Hill, a lot of Alvin Kamara. It wouldn't surprise me to see Kamara have success against them on the ground, but I do think the number is fairly efficient.
Margo's getting a lot of love right now in the chat. Apparently, he's a little jelly of Chief getting all the airtime as far as the pets are concerned. And apparently, Margo agreeing with your pick as well, according to some in the chat. AB, did you have something?
Yeah, I wanted to touch on exactly what PropStar said. And a big part of that is because the Bucs secondary has been so banged up and getting guys in, but having guys back out like we're going to see tonight. And the chess match is going to be how aggressive is the Bucs defensive line coming after Taysom, coming after Alvin Kamara of a standard rush set, right? So if they're not, and they kind of neutralize a little bit to not leave their corners and safeties on an island, you could see a traditional running approach. But if they are aggressive and say, you know what, we're just going to beat you at the line, the Saints are going to have to get super creative in terms of getting rushing yards and short passing receiving yards. So just pay attention to that, how aggressive that Bucs defensive line is early, because that'll tell you a lot of how this game's going to go.
Very good. Let's get into our best bets. By the way, Mikey, real quick, how many likes are we going to need tonight to give out the donkey? Because I believe right now, what are we at likewise? Anybody tell me? How many likes do we have right now? I can't see them.
I don't see it up. Yeah.
Okay. Kelsey, can you see how many? How many? 214?
217 now, but yeah, we're at least 500. I'll make the donkey will pay at least plus 500, so I need at least a like per number there. So.
All right. And we have plenty of people watching right now. And I know some are watching on TVs because you have the new Roku. Still go on your phone, do it for us. We need to get to 500 likes to give out the donkey, and we still have 15 minutes to do it. So start pounding that like button for me. Alex, I'm coming to you because I know you got some plays in the game tonight. Hopefully the numbers are somewhat the same. I know we've had 24 hours or so, this entire country knows how sharp you are. So what do you got for us tonight?
Yeah, so I'm going to start with the number that unfortunately is not available. I'll touch on it briefly. That is Leonard Fournette under 5.5 receptions. I did check at least on a couple of major books prior to coming on, and the number is down to 4.5. I caught this very briefly. This was out for a couple hours yesterday morning, and then when some of the news came out regarding Fournette's status, this was taken down off of DraftKings and MGM or Caesars. But yeah, just to touch on it very briefly, this is an inflated number for Fournette. He has been very, very heavily involved in the passing game for Tampa Bay. 31 targets, 28 catches over the previous 4 weeks. Previous to that, though, he has only had 6 catches one time in the previous 8 games. In his career, he has only caught 6 passes 13 times out of 69 career games. I believe he is due for some inevitable regression. The Saints are also a very tough matchup. They give up only 3 receptions to Fournette the last time these two teams played in Week 8. They give up the 5th fewest receptions to the running back position this season. They've surrendered only 54, which is good for 4.1 per game. So couple that with the fact that Fournette is banged up, probably going to see some more Rojo tonight. Yeah, I just think this is a good spot to fade him. However, I would caution against the 4.5 number. I don't think it has the same value, but if you can get 4.5 at like plus 130, plus 140 under, you can maybe go a half unit on that. The play that I do have that the number is available is Rob Gronkowski. I gave this out at 50.5 yards in my column. I believe this number has crept up to around 53.5, where I would still feel comfortable playing it there. Listen, Gronk has been phenomenal. He looks like vintage Gronk back when he was in New England, just people were falling off of him. He was one of the best tight ends I'd ever seen. The Saints are a tough matchup on paper, but in my opinion, Gronk is matchup proof in this Tampa Bay offense with Tom Brady at quarterback and Mike Evans and Chris Godwin opposite of him. He's averaging 8.5 targets, 78 receiving yards per game over his past 4 games since he's returned from an injury. He has a 24% target share. That is higher than Mike Evans, who's at 18%, and Chris Godwin, 21%. So this is just massive stuff from Gronk. Also works in our favor, in my opinion. The Saints possess an elite run defense. There's something of a pass funnel they also have a proclivity for giving up big plays. I've got Gronk projected at 68 receiving yards. Until the books adjust this line, I'm going to just keep playing this. We've been playing it, I think, the past 3 weeks. Getting it around 50, I think, is just a tremendous value. So yeah, riding with Gronk. I played up to 54.5. I know that number's still out there as well.
Damn it, we're riding too. Real quick, his catch number is 4.5, minus 120. Would you like that?
I think that is solid. Just his role in this offense, he is just chunking and he is just getting loose for big plays. I personally am more comfortable with his yardage, and you're going to have less juice. So I prefer to go with his yardage.
Okay. Chet in the chat says, I'm super lazy and I logged into the phones at the house just to hit the like button. If I can do it, so can you. And Noah says, I can confirm he is lazy. Okay. By the way, Butch in the chat says, hey, Coach, my son is home from Japan. He's in the Air Force. His name is Drew. He's hitting the like button. Can you guys give him a shout out? You're damn right we can. What's up, Drew? What's up, Drew from Japan in the Air Force? I love our military. My brother-in-law just moved back from South Korea a couple of years ago. So hopefully you have a great time with your son and the holidays. Butch, you and Drew, what's up from the Early Edge crew and everybody at SportsLine? All right, moving on. AB, you do not have an official play tonight, but I believe that Mikey now does. Mikey, the floor is yours.
Yeah, I do have an official play now. Over on DraftKings, the Saints just moved to plus 12.5 and at minus 110. And I'm playing the Saints plus 12.5, 110. My simulation number on this is minus 9 for Tampa Bay. I just think the line has gotten a little bit inflated at this point. Going back through some of the injury notes, I'm a little concerned with Fournette's ankle. I'm a little concerned about his durability and usage in this game. I think that helps take a hit there. And then I still like Alvin Kamara. I still respect what Taysom Hill can do with his legs. And I still respect the Saints team. I think that, the Sean Payton thing is obviously worth a little bit, but at this point, I think it's overstated to this point. So at 12.5 minus 110, I'm on the Saints. If you want to play it at 11.5, that's fine. There's not a huge difference in terms of the probability of the game landing on those two numbers. But it is nice to get the 12.5 in this divisional game. So give me the Saints plus 12.5.
God, that is such a big number for a team that routinely plays the Buccaneers very, very strong. They just do. Speaking of respect, apparently I didn't respect AB enough. My apologies. You have 2 official plays in the game. My bad. The floor is now yours. Oh, no!
No. I got it.
How does Justin always manage to make a way into the show?
I don't know. That's the question of the day. How does
I'm just glad we don't have to pay royalties when we say his name.
No, look, I'm never one for excuses, but I do feel like if you're producing, you've got to hit mute like 3 different times. So I'm going to give myself an out on that one, even if it doesn't count.
He says, I'm not one for excuses, but I'll give you an excuse on why I did.
I'll tell you what. We're going to eat that one. We're going to eat that L, but we're going to hit these 2 picks right here. And this is what we've got. We're going Tom Brady, longest completion, over 38.5 yards. If you see what he's done over the last 5 weeks, he's hit this number 3 times. Also, I believe that they're going to come out aggressive. And quite frankly, I wouldn't be surprised if he hits this in the first half. But if this game gets weird and we see historically what has kind of happened in regards to the Saints and the Bucs being a competitive game, well, then we've got it for the entire game, right? So I feel comfortable with that number there. Number 2, we're going to go with the Saints team total turnovers over 1.5. You guys know me. I love to play interception props. With Taysom Hill, it's a little weird. He doesn't put the ball in the air as much. And when he does, they're kind of rollout plays. Like they get wild in a hurry, right? So with this defensive front from Tampa Bay, there's a big opportunity for fumbles tonight as well, especially with him trying to evade that. So instead of interceptions, we're going to go team total turnovers 1.5. Tom Brady over 38.5 longest.
Very, very interesting. I don't mind that at all. All right. So those are our official best bets for the show. If you have a prop that you like, that you want to play, right now is the time to put it into the chat, and we will get to as many as we can over the course of the next just a couple minutes. Today, the show is absolutely flying by. Alex, let me come back to you because whenever Taysom Hill is playing, He's going to run the football. In 6 career starts, over 380 yards. His number is 44.5 the last time I checked. Would you like that tonight against this defense?
I typically do not play quarterback rushing props unless I feel like I have a significant edge. This is one that I actually like quite a bit. Teaser, this play may or may not have been in my weekly column as well. Without spoiling it too much, I do like Taysom Hill a lot. He's racked up 174 rushing yards in his previous 2 starts. It's fair to wonder about his long-term outlook at quarterback, but he has very little talent to work with at the receiver and tight end position. He's leaning on his legs quite a bit. Whenever the first and second read are unable to create separation and get open, he takes off with his legs. Tampa Bay's defense has also made a complete turnaround beginning of the season. They've proven to be one of the toughest secondaries. I know AB mentioned they have a lot of missing players. They rank 5th in passing DVOA. I do think Hill is going to have to lean on his legs quite a bit tonight, especially being double-digit underdogs in this game. I think they could invite Hill to run in the second half of the game if they are up big as well. So I could totally foresee a scenario where, maybe Taysom Hill only has like between 15 and 20 rushing yards in the first half. Then suddenly the Saints are playing 10, 15 points behind in the second half. The Bucs step off a little bit, kind of invite Taysom Hill to run, and he will take those opportunities, and they will be there in my opinion. So yeah, I like this prop quite a bit.
Lock it in. Mikey, let me come to you. Kind of an interesting question from the chat. I believe it's Thomas or Timothy, and I apologize, I forgot the name. Thomas. Do you like tonight's game in a teaser for tomorrow night or even Tuesday's game? We normally don't have 4 other games to choose from when we go into Sunday night. I think this is a great question. What do you make of this one, Mikey?
Yeah, I need to look at the lines on where the games have reopened because a lot of them were, all the games that are left essentially were games that are being postponed for the most part here. So short answer, yeah. You can get the Saints at plus 18.5 right now. I do like that number to be teased. As far as where I would tease it, with this spot, at this point in it, I guess you could tease it with the Bears plus 12.5 if you like it. If you're strongly on the side, you could tease that down to Vikings minus 0.5. But with me, it would probably be with the Bears up to 12.5, closer to 13. You could tease the Rams down to 1 if you want to. The Rams did get a lot of good news on their COVID report with Ramsey being back in there. So probably after looking through it, and the Seahawks just added, I believe, 6 new guys to the COVID list. If I had to tease tonight with tomorrow, it'd be with Tuesday, it would be Saints plus 18.5 and Rams minus 1.
Great analysis. Hopefully that answers your question because that's as good as you are going to get. I know we've already hit on Kamara real quick, Alex, but somebody just popped in, and I can't remember if you said yes or no to the combo prop of 84.5, but just real quick, yes or no on that. Somebody just dropped in.
Fairly efficient, would lean over if I had to go with something. I do prefer the combo prop as well in this particular instance because he could receive a lot of volume in the passing game.
All right. AB, there is a field goal question from Chico. Brett Mayer, his field goal number only plus 110 over 1.5.
I don't like anything field goals tonight. This game could get out of script very quickly, and it could be played very aggressively on both sides, especially on 4th downs. I don't like anything tonight.
By the way, can you imagine? Yeah. Can you imagine if you would have played the field goal prop today for the Panthers and then turned that game on? Can you imagine if you would have done that and they had no kicker? Oh my God, that's what you call a dead ticket before it even starts. Mikey, let me come back to you. TB12, his passing number over 294.5, and that is juice to minus 108.
How competitive do you think the Saints are is the answer to your question, essentially. If you think the Saints are going to be very, very competitive in this game, or if you lean towards the over, then I think it's okay to lean on it. Surprisingly, I actually have a little bit more on this one. I have it up to 299 in the simulations, which is very high number. Expecting a lot of passing there. Again, I edged it just a little bit in what I do. I've limited Leonard Fournette just a touch. think and a lot of it is also the respect for the Saints defense and the way they play. They typically aren't going to allow that to happen. So that's why you're seeing this number shaded. It is high, but I'm not taking the under on it. I have, again, about 5 yards, not enough for a play, but I'm not going under on it, which is saying a lot for a number that high.
Okay. Very, very good. Now, we already talked about Leonard Fournette, Alex. There's an interesting play. Kamara and Fournette, scrimmage yards combined over 199.5 minus 110.
Combined over 199. 199.5, and it's minus 110.
Listen to it go in real time is fun. So, sorry, Alex, go.
Yeah, I'm just surprised that it's minus 110 when Kamara's scrimmage prop is 87.5 or 84.5, and then Fournette's is in the 80s as well. So yeah, I don't think the value's there at all in that particular.
I agree. And I don't even know if that number's right, to me. Now that we talk it through, I don't think it's right.
Combined it should be less than 100, and it should be like 160 or 170.
That's right. Speaking of 60, we need 62 more likes, or we are not going to give out the donkey tonight. We're at 4:38. Thank you, Kelsey, very much. But we are crossing the top of the hour. What a really quick hour this always is, as K-State cashes for the morning show just now, real-time scoring. Thank you very much, Mikey. That was your play. Boom.
That was beautiful.
Love it.
Mikey, well done.
I almost tweeted about it. I had the tweet queued up. K-State up 6 at half. What could go wrong? Immediately a 10-0 run to start the half from Nebraska. I decided I wasn't going to fire that one off, but nice to see they recovered and got that one for us.
I thought it was just me because I hadn't watched 1 minute of it. I turned it on 10-0 run. And I was like, I got to turn this off. So great job for the morning show to Mikey. All right, so it's 8 o'clock on the East Coast. For those of you just dropping into the feed, welcome. This is Early Edge Live, our Sunday show. We're counting down to the Saints and the Bucs. But it is that time. We need 60 more likes. We got to get the donkey, but we're going to do VJM right now. It's the Van Jefferson Memorial. First touchdown of the game pick. This is just strictly for fun. And if we hit it, damn it, it's fun. If we get into the club, it's even funner. That's not even a word. Funner is not a word. But it's becoming very personal amongst the crew. Some of us are happy. Some of us are popping bottles. Some of us are not. Mikey, you are up first. Who are you going with tonight?
All right. I'm going with Taysom Hill, not getting cute with it, plus 1,600. Look, I love the way that he runs the football. I love how active he'll be in the red zone. And I just think the value is there because he is the entire offense next to Alvin Kamara in this spot. So give me Taysom Hill, plus 1,600, and not getting too cute with this one.
And you will be riding with the jeweler, who also has Taysom Hill tonight. So 2 on him. All right, AB. You're in the club already, aren't you?
I am in the club, and it feels great.
No.
Look, I haven't left in a week and a half. Like I think I'm paying rent here now.
Trust us, we can tell. But anyway, go ahead.
Well, I'll tell you. So Mike went with a QB, and he said he wasn't getting cute. I'll tell you what. I don't know about getting cute, but I am going with a QB, and we're going with my man Tom Brady. We're going to get it right down there at the 1. QB sneak, popping it right in, plus 4,000. My man TB12, plus 4,000. That's what we're hitting tonight.
Real quick before I give mine, Hoon, God, I know I messed that name up. It says, what do we think about a Rob Gronkowski anytime touchdown tonight? Do we think he's going to score? He always scores in prime time, it seems like. Not a bad bet. We're not going to play it, but not a bad bet. I'll give you that advice. All right, Alex. Now, you're an interesting individual because you're technically in the club, but you have a lot of pride about yourself. And you know that you weren't on the show the night you got into the club, and so you want to do it on your own accord. I respect it. So who are you going with tonight?
More than anything, by the way, Coach, do I want to get in on my own merit. I am not one for nepotism, so please let me get in. I am going Cameron Brate, plus 3,000. I got the M squared seal of approval prior to when we were discussing this play prior to starting the show. That gave me a tremendous amount of confidence. Since the other AB, Antonio Brown, went down, Brate has actually probably been the biggest beneficiary as far as the pass catchers in Tampa Bay. He's been one of them for sure. He has had a kind of steady uptick in targets since AB has left the team. So I like Cameron Brate. I think he offers some nice value. Tom Brady likes to look his way in the red zone as well.
Oh, I like all your picks so much. Real quick, Mikey, Godwin over his total 80.5 yards. He had 8 for 140 last game. Real quick, do you like it?
It's pretty efficient. I think you could lean that way a little bit, but I really think this projects as a Gronkowski spot more than anything. I think the Saints defense is relatively tough. It's going to be Gronk over the middle most of the time here for me. So I'm staying away from it, but a classic case of when I'm not playing the under on.
Okay. Very, very good. Oh, no. I had no idea he was even in the building. Jeweler dropping out of nowhere. What do you got, big boy?
What's up? I just saw we hit 500 likes on YouTube, and that's awesome. I don't know if there's any promo that you guys were running. I've been running around the house and also sipping a little action out of my early edge pint glass that just came in the mail recently. I saw Mike is also on Taysom Hill. So,
yes.
In honor of the Atlanta Braves, if I get into the VJM club with Taysom Hill, I will chug another white zombie right out of this.
Live on the show?
Live on the show, but only if I hit the VJM.
Okay, so if you get in the club tonight, you're gonna
the guys at home. Jeweler was on it first. I tailed Jeweler's pick on Taysom Hill tonight. Just want to throw that out there
for the record.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you, Mike. That means a lot to me. I feel like I've been so close. And it's really personal to me. I mean, we had Sammy Watkins just giving up on a play in the end zone. Hunter Henry with 2 touchdowns last night. It's coming, right? It's coming.
No, it's not coming for you before it comes for me. I can tell you that much right now. I'm telling you that much right now. Because I won't go. I was going to say, I will quit the show. No, I will not quit the show. All right, so to be clear, you're on Taysom Hill. If he cashes, you get in the club. You're drinking a beer live from your Early Edge Cup tomorrow on the live show in the evening. Correct? The second live show tomorrow.
Oh, I was going to get started at the 4 p.m. show.
Oh, that's fine.
Maybe do another one at the 7:15 show, and then we'll just be,
I like it.
It won't go off the air because I won't be able to see straight.
I want to see the jeweler hammered live on the air. That'd be amazing. Amazing. All right, real quick. My pick today, I'll be honest with you. I'm just going to go with Tyler Johnson. He's plus 1,800. He catches a couple of balls, it seems like, every single game. He's not his favorite target, but damn it, tonight could be the night. Every time I try to overthink it, I don't even come close. So I'm going Tyler Johnson plus 1,800. And those are our 5 VJM picks for the game tonight. All right. Have we hit 500 likes? Did we get there?
Yep, we're there.
We are there. So it is that time for one of your favorite segments of the show. We call it the Donkey, and it's a crazy, fun, multifaceted parlay that you put all the crazy numbers together, and it makes you root the entire night. So, Mikey, this is your deal. I'll step back. AB, what do you got for us?
All right, here's the donkey tonight. The New Orleans Saints on the alternate spread, plus 21.5. Tampa Bay Buccaneers alt spread, minus 2.5. The over 35.5 on the alternate total points. Rob Gronkowski, over 39.5 receiving yards. Taysom Hill, over 39.5 rushing yards. And then I've got first half action in here as well. I need the Saints within plus 12.5 in the first half, and then over 15.5 total points in the first half.
Soak it all in. Leave it up there for a second. Love that plus 525. You guys all earned it. Joseph in the chat says, I don't want chat. I want the game. Joseph, we've been on for almost an hour. Come a little bit earlier, okay? This show is about fun and picks. That's what we do. But I like that you're here. Thank you very much. All right, so the donkey is there, and there's only one thing we have left to do. Really quick, we'll go back through our best bets for those people who dropped in at 8 o'clock, and then we're going to get the hell out of here and enjoy a Sunday night football game. So very quickly, let's go around the horn on best bets. Mikey, what is yours?
Tonight I'm on the Saints plus 12.5. I think the number is just a little too high. My simulation number makes it closer to 9. Dead on the total gives us a pretty big edge here and through somewhat significant numbers. So like the Saints plus 12.5, minus 110. I got that line at the DraftKings Sportsbook.
Thank you very much. Alex, what's up?
Yeah, I've got Leonard Fournette under 5.5 receptions. Unfortunately, that number is no longer available any longer. It is down to 4.5, where I don't quite like it nearly as much. That is a significant difference. So yeah, but if you do have an offshore maybe and you're getting a stale line, you can find it at 5.5. Absolutely love it, even though it's juice. The other play I have is Rob Gronkowski over 50.5 receiving yards. This number is close to being available. I believe 53.5 was available prior to coming on the show. Gronk looks to be in peak vintage form. Phenomenal in this offense. He is matchup proof as well, in my opinion. I think he's going to have a big night over the middle of the field.
All right. Real quick, Jared said, what does PFJM mean? I'm new. It's VJM, and it's just a name for a fun segment that we started at the beginning of the year. We just picked the first score for the first touchdown of the game, and we do it every single live show in prime time. But Jared, welcome to the early edge. All right, AB, what are your best bets tonight?
Yep. So first one, we're going to go Tom Brady, longest completion, over 38.5 yards. They're going to use Leonard Fournette to soften up that cover 4 zone that the Saints run, bring him up a little man press towards the line. That's when Brady eats him up. Second, we're going to go Saints team total turnovers over 1.5 at plus 110.
By the way, real quick question for you. At least 4 games in a row, the Bucs have scored at least 30. Their number is 28.5 tonight. Would you like that? Team total.
28.5?
Yep,
I like it.
Okay. I'm going to play it. Boom, boom, boom. Andrew says, whenever the coach gets in the club, I want to see a video of him celebrating live. Get Mrs. Coach ready with the camera. Oh, trust and believe. She's ready with the camera. I just got to win. I just got to win before the jeweler, or I will never live it down. All right. As we say, our final takes, let's throw the donkey up there one more time. And I like to end every single primetime live show letting my guys say whatever they want for 15 or 20 seconds of what they're most looking forward to tonight, so you can get in your heads as well. AB, start us off.
Yep, exactly what we just talked about. You know, can the Bucs get past the Saints? Can they get this kind of monkey off their back, so to say? It's an important game for the Buccaneers. Can they go out and handle their business? And I'll say, points scored for the Bucs early in this game will absolutely matter. So watch Tampa coming out super aggressive offensively.
Alex, what are you looking forward to?
I am looking forward to Rob Gronkowski cashing my prop, as well as AB's longest reception for Tampa Bay. Hopefully we get that done simultaneously. Also looking forward to seeing Taysom Hill running a bit. So yeah, I'm looking forward to a very exciting matchup.
Mikey.
Yeah, I'm looking for a quick strike out of the Saints, hopefully ending with a Taysom Hill rushing touchdown, followed by a nice drive from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, hitting Rob Gronkowski for roughly a 40-yard pass to cash AB's prop, get Alex most of the way there, and knock out one of the donkey legs very quickly in this game.
I don't want to see any of that happen tonight. What are you talking about? What I'm looking forward to tonight is that first touchdown of the game, and the announcers, I believe it's going to be Al Michaels tonight, going, who was that? Tyler Johnson. Oh, touchdown. That's what I'm looking forward to tonight. That's what's going to happen in about 10 minutes from right now. But another great hour. Thank you all for being so interactive in the chat. Thank you, as always, for joining us every single show. If you're not following our YouTube page, subscribe right now. It's free. Turn on your notifications because we've got content all the time. Drop it in your feed. A reminder, we are live tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Eastern time, then at 4 Eastern, and then 7:15 Eastern time. 3 big shows tomorrow because of the 2 primetime NFL games. All right, there's only one thing left to do. And Jared, if you're new, you may not have ever seen this before. It's how we end every single show. You've got your marching orders. Let's take all of these tickets straight to the pay window. For my entire crew, M Squared, Dial Up, Prop Stars, The Jeweler, and everybody behind the scenes at the brand. We do it. We do it for you. We love it so damn much. Be kind. Pay it forward. Enjoy the game tonight. We'll see you live tomorrow morning right here on the Early Edge. Good luck.